Hello everyone, welcome back to another interesting video of CHAKDE INTERVIEWS. So in this we are going to cover an interesting JavaScript mock interview. So this interview is going to be from mid-senior to the higher senior level where we are going to get to code some of the interesting problem in JavaScript, and we have Venkat with us. So he has around 6-7 years of experience in the industry working in different domain in different companies. So with that, let me quickly hand over the mic to the Venkat. Hey Venkat, how are you doing?
Hey, hi. I was doing good. How about you, Chirag?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Good to have you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And
Thank
I
you.
hope with your today's mock interview, many people are going to learn and get some experience out of that. So I'm very much excited about that. What about you?
Sure. Even I am so even I've given many interviews and I follow your videos and other things as well. So it's like handling seeing from a video to like giving interview to that person. It's like kind of a good journey. So I'll give my best whatever the knowledge which I have. So
Awesome. Yeah, I think that will be a great experience. So with that, let's quickly, maybe you can talk about a brief introduction about yourself before we get into the interview round.
yeah, sure. So thanks for giving this opportunity. Myself, Venkat Subramanian CB, having 7 years of experience in total. So in that around like 6 years of experience, I've been onto like front end web development with help of tech stack like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React.js, and Redux with Material UI, Tailwind CSS, and Next.js. So I've been started my career with IVTEL Infoview as junior engineer for their own product, which is called Hue. So where the product development was happened with help of tech stack like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and backend with the help of their own framework, which is called Hue, where the framework was layered with Java, Spring, MVC, Cassandra, and Elasticsearch. So then later I worked for Prodap Solution. In Prodap Solution, where I worked as a senior software engineer, where I worked for Verizon product of Prime Biller application. This application it all deals with the billing operations of each and every customers in Japan, where sorry, each and every customers in USA, where customers deals with the billing operations for each and every province. So this application it was already there in legacy, which was like kind of desktop application. So where we have converted into like a React.js web application with help of tech stack like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React.js, Redux, and we have used cloud platform like AWS to deploy the application as well.
Okay, so let's get started with what we have to do. You have to write function called compute. How that function is basically going to look like and what it is going to do, let's try to understand. So consider this is a compute function. It takes few of the argument. So you can expand the left hand side. Yeah, so that bit more so that you can visualize. Yeah. So what you have a compute. So what it basically takes. So it takes few of the argument like one, two, three, whatever it is. It's a value of ABC in this particular input, right? What this
Okay.
input contains. Input is an object which again is any dynamic object. If you see you have a b c, then b have another nested e kind of thing, and the
Hmm.
values are actually function. So what we want as an output from this, right? So the expected output from this is actually it should go compute all the function with the given value of abc, which is 111 in this particular case, and the expected outcome is something like this. So if you notice, you have ABC, and the same hierarchy, same structure is being followed. It's just that the right hand side value get computed with the input which we have given, which is ABC in this particular case.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So this is what we have to give a shot.
Okay. So okay. So this is a like kind of an approach where we are trying to access the object with help of function. So this we can able to try it with help of call method by accessing these things.
Mhm. Okay.
So that like we can able to, so with help of this .a we try to access one which gives, okay, again it's a function. Mhm. Let me write the code. So this compute will have only three parameters, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So here we need to do the operation.
Okay, what's a thought process which is coming to your mind? Like you have this input, you see this is an input which is an object.
Yes, yes.
What to do with this object?
So this object, so it's like kind of key value. So here the key is like a. So here our operation was on to like we are having a like arrow function where we do like a plus b plus c, so where we have the parameters of a plus b plus c. So here we need to do the compute operation. In this, we need to do the compute operation.
Okay, let's give a shot. So let's try to break this problem statement. When I say break, you have this input as an object. What do you want it to do with this object first of all?
So this object, so we need to like understand so what exactly is the object first of all. So this object is going to do some operation and it is returning. It is like going to return as an object. So the output also is going to be the object.
Okay.
So whatever the input we have, the same way we are going to give the output as the same approach.
Okay.
Instead of like the value will get differ. Mean to say like value will make the operation and then it returns that particular operation.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's try to tackle this step by step.
Yeah. So
let's break it. When I say break it, so consider example you don't have this complex object. You have a simple where you have just key called a.
okay.
Can you focus that and try to solve it?
Yeah. So return like we have the input dot a.
Let's do it. Whatever comes to your mind, let's do it.
Okay. In this case, actually, I was like having one small doubt here.
Right.
So here we have the input object a. When the key and the object value is like a, b, c, this is like another function.
It's a function. Value is a function, right?
So
if you have just a as a key, your output should be an object with a colon value as in 3. So let's try to target just that piece and we'll try to then expand your solution.
okay. So in this case, what I have to do is like first I need to call input dot a. So input dot a, which will be kind of a function in that place where I need to call this compute operation. So here it should return the plus b plus. I was struggling here. This value function was struggling.
So don't think a lot. Maybe try to think a very small step. What do you want it to return first of all? If
So
only a as in p.
So in this case, I need to return as an object actually.
Object, and let's try to return the object. Let's hard code the object and let's do it. Let's see how it goes.
So let me like return the output object. So I was initiating an output object called output object. So whenever we can be able to use it, like we can reuse it. Okay. So this output object has a thing called EA. Okay. So where we do this operation of A plus.
Okay, are you going to write that logic over here? So what if I change the implementation of a plus b plus c to something else? So you don't know actually what is inside the function, right? It can be anything in the function.
Yeah, correct,
The
correct.
function, what you have is a function. How do you access a function?
Uh,
How can you access the function which is under A?
okay, so in this object,
Yes, in this object, the input which is given, how do you access function which is
so here we can access it with the help of like input dot in.
input dot A? Your input dot A is what? Is a function
Yes, it's a
A.
function.
Okay, it's a function. Now
Correct,
you need to execute that function. That's what we want because if you execute this A function, you will get outcome as a 3 if I'm correct. Correct?
correct, correct.
So which is like from where you have to pass some values to this input dot A. What are those values?
A comma B comma C.
A comma B comma C. Exactly. So if you execute this code, then what you will get an object which has A as an input and 3 as an value. That is what you will get. Correct?
Correct, correct.
If you have to add B also to this, how you are going to do it?
So like comma, like we can able to do B. So here again like input dot B.
Let's do it. Now the problem statement is these A, B, C, any of these keys
Hmm.
can be dynamic. Like you don't know. These are not hard coded.
Hmm.
How can you make this generic? Where you don't know the structure of your output object. It can be any structure. It can be any keys. It can be A, B, C. It can be A, B, B, C, C, or Ram, Sham, Ghansham as a key, right? It can be any type of key. How do you generalize it?
Okay, this input also can be dynamic, right? So this ABC also.
So you will always pass ABC. Now, what is the definition of input dot A or input dot B? You don't care, right?
Hmm.
It can
Hmm.
be any reference. It can be any function implementation. We hardly care. The only two things over here is dynamic, which is your key, and how do you access your value is dynamic, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
let's try to make it change it.
Uh, in this case, like we need to like fetch the like keys of this object. So accordingly, like we can able to access it. So is that the right approach? But
What,
it
what
can,
can you repeat that? I didn't get.
so like if keys are dynamic,
Yeah.
so like we have to like we will not sure, we'll be not sure about the key. So in
Mhm.
that case, like we need to fetch the keys and then like we need to generate the output object.
Let's do it. So basically, you're saying, can I get all the keys first, and based on the keys, let me take some decision dynamically. That's what you're saying, right?
Correct.
Let's try that. Why not?
Okay. So can I comment this code as of
Yeah,
now?
comment it. Try to make it dynamic.
So, so I'll get the keys by with help of like object dot keys of input. So this will give me the keys. So in this case, I need to generate an object. So I need to like generate an object. So where I need to loop this. So for let I is equal to 0, I less than let me shift to that case. So we need to put object is equal to C.
Oh, what is this object key? What is the data type of this object keys?
It will be kind of an array.
So can you write
Oh, wait,
array
wait.
dot object
Yeah,
keys function?
second, one second. So it should not be input dot object keys. It should be object keys of. So I need to take this value object keys of I here because it's an array, right? So
Okay.
like array of zero. So array of zero it would be like a here and input dot object keys of I with the parameters we need to pass.
Okay. So let's do it. I get your point. So you are trying to make your key as a dynamic. Right now we have syntactical error that you have to fix. And the right hand side, so you are trying to access from object dot object keys. Will that work? So there is syntactical error definitely on line number 11, right? That needs to
Yes,
be fixed.
yes.
Let's try to fix that. How to get a dynamic key and how to take dynamic key from an input. So both of these things basically you have to try it out. Let's try to do that.
So my approach, I have taken it something like this. So where so
I
this
got your approach, but do you see problems with the code of line that you have written? From 10 to 12, there are a lot of things that has to be rectified. What are those?
okay. Okay, here so what it is happening is like this I it's like kind of an index.
Mhm.
So I need the value of that actually. So it like object keys of index a of 0 which should be here actually. So I need to select object keys of I, the key should be there, colon input or object keys of I. Instead of doing like this, take something like this.
So that is key or value.
No, I was initiating a variable.
Okay, no worries. Go ahead.
So can we have something like this?
Okay, so now help me with one thing. The value that you have written on line number 12, is it dynamic or static key? Is it
Here,
dynamic variable? Line number 12. So you see the line number 10 shows gray. It means you are not, the variable that you have created is not used anywhere. So don't you see there is some problem?
it is like not like it is declared, but it says it's never read.
Yes. So, but you have given on line number 12. Definitely the way you have given on line number 12 is incorrect. Hence you are getting this error, isn't it?
Correct.
What is the problem? Let's try to fix it. What shall we change on line number 12 to make it work?
Can we try printing the values so like we can have understanding what exactly the error I have made?
You can try running if you wanted to execute something and see what you are getting. I'm okay. Let's execute and see if you can debug your code, try to fix something. Let's try doing that. You can reduce the left panel if you want now. Yeah.
And moreover, like I should have object.
So the one which you're writing input dot value, it says that hey, I don't understand this. There is something to do with that. Right?
Input dot value. So if I try to get the value, I can understand because input dot value, which is like kind of a.
So what is the data type of your input? Can you tell me what is the data type of your input?
It's like array.
Is in so it's an
Sorry,
array.
it's
It's array. That's what you're saying.
no. This is like this input is object.
It's an object. So does it has a key called value?
No, it doesn't has a key call value.
Then you are trying to execute this. Will that work?
It doesn't work. But what I thought is, here we are accessing. Oh, okay. Here it should be like something kind of value of economy, but it doesn't work because like here it will be something like kind of input dot value. It should says like input
So
doesn't
the
have a.
interesting thing is value. The key is dynamic. How to take that dynamic part in an object? That's your problem statement right now,
Mm, mm, mm.
right?
Correct.
If you want, I can help you on that.
Yes.
Okay. So the code that you have written. So what you are expecting, you need dynamic value, right? So
Mm,
dynamic value. So basically, what you have. So you have input with you, right?
yeah.
And you are
Mm.
looking for dynamic value. So dynamic values can be taken like this,
Okay. Okay.
right? So you want the dynamic value on the right hand side, but still there is a problem on left hand side. Do you see the line number 22 value that you have written? Do you see problem with that? The
Uh,
value colon that you are writing is a hard coded value.
mm, mm, mm,
It's not a dynamic value. It's
mm,
not a dynamic key.
mm.
How to make this a dynamic key?
Again, like we need to give it like kind of input of value.
That is what we have to write. Okay, maybe this is the last hint I am going to give you for this problem. This is how you make the key dynamic, right?
Mm, mm. Correct.
So basically, when I say this, you add a square brackets, wrap it. Now your key is dynamic. Okay, let's execute and see what is the outcome and help me if that's correct, if it is going to work or some other issues that you have. So you got A, B,
B.
C, but it then failed.
Yes. Because due to like D, it's an like an object, right? So that is the reason it is getting failed.
Okay, let's do comment out the D part. Let's see if you get the right outcome. So you have to return the right outcome. So in your input that you have taken, comment out the D part. Okay, and from compute, just double check if you are getting some outcome or not. Let's see your function compute. Are you returning something?
No, I'm not returning here something. I'm not return the object.
Let's return that. Execute. Let's see. Okay, what you got? Still an error. But
Because
it's a technical thing. You can take it minus or plus. Doesn't matter. So what I
BC.
do, make it minus. Go into the code that you have. Maybe the C, make it minus. A plus B minus C. It's okay. Execute. What you got? You just got C. Dude, you did not got A, B, C. You just got C. Can you identify the problem?
It's like overriding the value
You
actually.
are overriding the value, right?
It's overriding the
How can
value.
we avoid overriding? Maybe reduce the left panel a bit. Shorten the left panel so that we can see your code well. Reduce even the test output as well. Yeah. So now, what's the problem? Where to, how to fix and what to fix?
This output object, like it should be. We need to like have the existing value. Similarly, like we need to have the updated value. So like kind of spreading the values we need to have.
Okay.
In array we spread it, but here
So what we are going to do, Venkat, we are going to time box this problem, right?
hmm,
So maybe we'll invest one more minute to this problem statement and seeing that how can we ensure that we don't override, we keep on adding to the existing object. That's your problem statement right now. If
yeah.
you we have other challenges also nested thing which we can park, but at least I want you to solve that problem. Let's see. Meanwhile, whoever is watching it, please you also go and attempt this problem statement. So this is an interesting problem to solve for everyone.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm solving this kind of problem.
No worries. There is always first time to so many things that we go through. So hence I am here to help you to support. But again, so there is a some boundaries that I can go and support, right?
Yeah, yeah, correct. So like this output object, I need to wrap it something. I was thinking. Mm, can we do something like this? If we try to assign to an empty object to the output object also, again it will be kind of an last value only. So, if it is an array of object, we can push it and then we can try it.
It's nothing array of object. It's a
Uh,
normal object.
yeah, it's a normal object.
Okay, we'll do one thing. We'll put a break to this. I get what you are trying to do. There are some challenges. One thing which I can maybe highlight, the only problem that you are trying to solve can be solved just doing this, which is one part. It's not 100%. It is
Mm,
just one part of it. This is what exactly you wanted to achieve over here. So
mm,
try executing your code. This is not 100% solution. It's just solve your ABC problem. So let's see
mm.
if this solves it. Did you get ABC computed?
Yes, yes, yes.
Right? But it has other challenges like how do you ensure that the nested keys handling is done. So for that, something extra has to be handled.
Yeah,
So
for that we need to check whether the value is object or it's kind of an number or like something apart from object. We need to check it. If that is the case, we need to go inside the value and then we need to take the key and then we need to do the recursive operation actually.
so logically yes, but in terms of I would love to see something from the code side how this works. No worries. Let's jump into the another problem statement which I wanted to. I will just clean up the solution that we have. So okay, let's do something simple and interesting at the same time. So you
Okay.
know how you know about reduce function,
Mm.
right? So you know how this reduce work. So say suppose you have multiple items, you have a reduce which actually takes two things. It takes function and it takes initial value,
Mm.
right? This is how basically a reduce works.
Mm. Mm.
If I have to be precise, a function it can be damn any function which says that I give you accumulator and I give you the individual item and the index. That's how basically these functions are implemented, right? So
Mm.
what you have to do basically create my reduce function,
Okay.
which does exactly same thing which is inbuilt function, but this is going to be your function. That is what we want.
Okay.
So this is going to be my reduce. This is custom reduce function. So
Mm.
that is what my expectation is. Implement your custom reduce function. It's called my reduce. Let's give a shot.
Okay. So like we are planning to implement the polyfill.
Yeah.
So we'll call it technically we call it as polyfill. This one. So where it has two things. One is like accumulator.
Okay.
So we have two things in the initial here as well. The initial value should not be undefined.
Hmm?
Okay, or accumulator should not.
Give a shot. Go ahead.
If, uh, this case, we need to do callback operations.
Hmm?
Actually. 嗯 I have to check. I was like thinking how to check for this.
No worries. Yeah, give a shot. Meanwhile, who is watching, give a shot at your end.
Mm,
So whenever you see any problem statement which is maybe seems like complex because of the syntactical sugar and whatnot, try to break it into the smaller chunk. You may not be getting the answer in the first cut, which is okay. But can you break this problem statement into small chunk and try to get answer of those small things?
yeah.
Like
Actually,
yeah,
so here it should like return it kind of an array. So
it should return as an array. Why?
no, like sorry, here the input is array. So with the help of that input array, we like this reduce function. It accepts two parameters. And
Okay, help me with a couple of things. Help me with couple of things. So the function that you have created over here, I
hmm.
have few questions. One, what does it take as an input parameter? What are the input parameter to your reduce function? Is it a accumulator or initial value? First of all,
So initially, it takes this initial value actually.
oh, does first of all, is it a accumulator and a initial value? What are the two things which are passed?
One is like kind of the function which we have passed. The other one is like initial value.
Okay, so one is function, which is a callback function, right? Yours
Correct.
is accumulator. So
Hmm.
definitely there is something wrong. Let's fix it. One thing at a time.
We'll mention this like kind of a callback.
So it's a callback function, right? Okay,
Hmm.
let's consider that. Now, second thing, how do you get access to this array, which is 1, comma 2, comma 3 that you have? How can you get access inside my reduce?
So with help of this keyword,
But this will point to what?
this will point to the entire array. This of I we can access it.
Oh, but there is no array occurrence right now anywhere, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So what this will point to? There is something wrong, right?
yeah.
What is that something? Okay, let me put my question in the other way. How do you how do you create any polyfill? Like what is in general way to create a polyfill?
So in general way, like let's consider map. Okay.
Yeah.
So like for map, I will say how polyfill can be created. So in the map, like we used to take an array and with help of dot map, like with the help of dot
Oh, interesting. Even if we talk about map, so you just talk about map. So let me take example of map. One
map.
comma two comma three, and we say we have a map. Map also take just a callback function. Map does not take array as an input.
Correct.
So even if I say let's write a polyfill for map, how you are going to write it?
That one like we can write it actually. So function. Let me consider it as a custom map. Okay.
Okay,
So it accepts only one parameter, which is like callback.
okay.
So in this, so it should return as an map will return as an array. So I'll initiate
Oh,
a
tell me
variable.
just one thing. How do you access the array on which this custom map is going to be applied? What I mean by in this case, it is 567. How do I access 567 array? This array inside this custom map. My question is that simple.
With help of like this dot length.
But this there is no relation of so okay. Tell me one thing. You are writing a normal function which is custom map. So can
Hmm.
you write custom map like this? Will this work? The function that you have written and the code which I am trying to access, will this work?
It will lead to problem.
It will.
Lead to problem.
Okay. Why? Because array does not have something called custom map.
Correct. Correct.
Right? Can you do an inspect element and go to the console once? Okay. In console, can you create a normal map? Clean it up. Create a normal map. Map in an array. So create a normal array. With value 1, maybe anything. Yeah. Hit enter. Can you try expanding this array?
One second. Something.
Maybe clean it up. It's okay.
So if we give, yeah. So actually, if we give array dot prototype, so here we get all of the predefined inbuilt
Okay.
functions
Now,
for.
if you have to create those custom map and custom reduce, where you should create it?
Yeah, it should be done inside the prototype actually, array dot prototype.
Okay, let's do it. The initial few things which matters, right? Your normal function that you are creating is not going to
Ah,
be able to access that, right?
yeah, yeah, correct, correct, correct.
Close your console and let's try to fix that part.
Because basically whenever we do everything in javascript, everything in javascript is an object. So like whatever we try to access whenever we are creating any of the file in javascript, so initially all of this inbuilt things which get created for this actually. So then only like we can able to like access those keywords in terms of prototype, like for array, string,
Okay,
so object,
I
whatever.
get your point. So from conceptual point, I understand what you just said. Let's try to apply that concept in MyReduce. The MyReduce function that you are creating, let's use this technique in MyReduce and try to achieve the implementation.
So here it's
So I will just clean the my map so that you can focus over here. Yeah, please go ahead.
a function which has callback and initial value. So where we have a function and we have an initial value.
Okay, now what?
So now we need to uh, we need to assign, like we need to check that initial value which is like not is undefined or not.
You can always do like edge condition handling, maybe in the starting or the end. So I want you to handle that at the end. Let's focus on the core logic first.
That there is a combinator which is equal to initial value for combinator which is not equal to undefined. So in this case we need to do um, this callback of this of I, comma, comma. This should be like inside a loop.
Okay. So you are going to execute your callback. You are passing first item, but where is this I coming from?
Yeah, it should be kind of a loop.
Okay.
So callback of this of I and I comma this. Along with this, like I guess we need to pass undefined also for this reduce. What type of for accumulator? It is that is correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. So
Okay. So you are trying to pass the callback, you're going to pass, you're passing the first value, the nth value, I, this, and whatnot. But what does, okay, callback is okay. Callback is what you're executing is okay. But what about this my reduce? What exactly what you wanted to do? Try to think. So callback is getting executed, which is
Mm.
okay.
Mm.
The callback in this particular case does one thing is special, which is kind of a aggregation or something, getting the data from the initial value and passing it to the new refresh. Something, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
How we can achieve those things. Try to break the problem statement and see, hey, what is the next thing that I am expecting?
Thinking of that actually. I have to check. I have forgotten. I have done this, but I have to check.
So that's an interesting thing. I'm here. You don't have to recall it, right? So you can always ask, take a hint, hey, what next can be done, what could be done better. I'm here to help you.
So, what I can do after this?
Okay, so what you can do? So you have to think about. So when we talk about this accumulator, this callback, can you
Mm.
try to think about the consumption? The consumption part is like this, right? When you call this callback is nothing this function, which is AC item index. What it takes is the first thing item, by the way. What do you pass? Item as a first thing.
Mm.
No,
No.
it's an accumulated value. The
Yes.
second index is item. Third index is index. What should, like, what do you need to pass over here? Is a
I
question.
so like initially item in the sense like we need to pass.
Is it an item?
No, it's not an item. The sofa is not an item.
Then what?
It's an like kind of value.
Think of.
Hmm.
So you need to pass the accumulator. You just said.
Yeah,
So what will be the initial value of this accumulator?
it would be like it's like initial value that I was defining for the accumulator.
It's an accumulator. That's what you said. If
Hmm.
you pass, consider if I pass it over here. What will be the problem?
The value.
Initial value for the first time. What about the other occurrences? The other time it is going to iterate.
Yeah, again also it will take the initial value.
Then how do you fix it?
We need to update the accumulator actually. So
How?
we can like map this accumulator to this variable to this callback. This callback can be this.
Okay.
Uh,
What else?
so this accumulator we are like passing and then like um, after this again like we need to make the initial value to change.
Okay. So what you want? So basically, this is my use case. It should give me the summation, right? And the initial value which I'm looking for is 0 in this particular case. So console.log result should be the summation of all the values which I'm passing, which is 6.
Correct, correct.
So in your case, what is going to be the outcome?
It would be it will not it will like lead to error because I was calling it but I was not updating this accumulator actually. So,
Okay. What is the one important thing which is missing in this my reduce function?
the initial value which is
Initial value.
initial value which is passed but it was like the accumulator is like not
Okay,
updated.
let me ask in this way. Line number 12. In result, you will get some value from this reduce. Is that
Hmm.
correct?
Correct.
So how do you get value? Like, do you have to do something inside my reduce so that you can get the value as an outcome?
Like we need to like return it
What? What do you
that
need to return?
the account.
Let's return it. Let's see. let's try to execute this code first of all. Let's see where you are stuck, what kind of challenges you are getting.
Okay.
Did you get the outcome by the way? First of all,
So yes, it returns 6.
it returned, but there are challenges with the solution that you came up with.
Yes, yes, yes.
There are
Uh,
things which are missing.
so we need to add one more condition to this accumulator actually. So like in after this if condition, we need to add one more thing. So that like it will handle, because reduce basically which is not going to be doing the operation of only this kind of addition or something. So it's something different than what we think actually. So
Okay,
that's what
so let me ask the other question. What are the purpose of reduce? One is accumulation, and second is
accumulation is the main thing. And, like
what
we
will
can
you use for the other purpose? One is people know you wanted to do some aggregation, you can do it. What else?
apart from aggregation, even I haven't worked on apart from aggregation.
So the other thing is transformation. If you wanted to transform some data, then we
Uh,
use this my reduce, your reduce in a very optimal fashion. So with that, we are done with the kind of a question that we had. Although I wanted to ask more question, but with the given limited time that we have, so we'll try to reduce the interview at this level. Okay, quick feedback which I wanted to give before. I want people to also share your feedbacks in the comment. Like if you have to solve any of these, what will be your solution? And the other thing, before I give my feedback, you have to tell like if you have to select or reject based on the experience and the kind of a outcome that we have, what will be your opinion, right? So I want you to comment down. Basically, this is going to help us to basically identify based on because you will be an interviewer today or in future, right? So let's do that assessment now. Coming back to me, I see a couple of things which I wanted to share, but before that, let me ask one question. How was your experience in terms of the interview that we had?
so actually, interview experience it was good, but the thing is like so few things which I like failed to like break it. So when I saw the problem, and moreover, so this reduce and like polyfills, I have worked already, but still I haven't. It was not in a regular touch, so it's became an problem to handle on immediate basis. So and moreover, like as we have been dependent on Google a lot, so that is the issue. Like on immediate basis, we couldn't able to write a code onto it actually.
Fair enough. Sure. Let me pass down some of the feedback. One, like few things which I liked was in some of the places where I was able to, I have to give you hints maybe multiple times, but you are able to derive it somewhere because somewhere at back of your mind you are knowing the concept. Either it was prototype or probably something related to how to call the dynamic thing and whatnot. It's just that some hand holding was something which is definitely needed, which I can say. The other thing, coming back to the other sort of thing, do you need to improve? Definitely the lot of improvement. When I won't consider it as, hey, this was only because we are habitual of the Google. Everyone takes the help from that, right? But there are fundamentals that should be very strong. When I say fundamentals, taking a feedback of like how do you take dynamic object keys, right? Or probably how do you ensure that like my reduce implementation is the secondary part, but first thing understanding when we say, hey, we can access this data using this, then when we say such a statement we should be very sure that from where this will come, right? And as an engineer, as a JavaScript engineer, we should quickly jump into, hey, this is something which we did wrong and probably this is the way to fix it, right? So I think those things shows a very good fundamental understanding of those things. But yes, as you said, because we have started leveraging frameworks a lot, we tend up losing the good hands on the core fundamental of thing, which I see is a like good red mark for everyone who follows that. Reason being, you may not be using this often, but
Yeah.
when you understand the importance of these small things, starting from your understanding of this being applied into the right place, right? Understanding the dynamic things of consumption of things, understanding how the function definitions and those syntactical things do matter, right? When you, so now the problem happens, consider example when you grow in your trajectory, you are a senior person. You are
Yeah.
supposed to create an in-house library, a utility which does something, right? Now, when you are not good at those fundamentals, you're
It
screwed
will
up,
be. Yeah.
right? You're 100% screwed up. Reason? For junior developers, it's easy. Take a like reference to any of the library, do a import, npm install that library, get the solution working. But when you grow as a senior, your job is not to do npm install, get the library, make the functionality work, but also to develop those utilities and functionalities as well, right? I
Yeah.
hope we are aligned on those realm and the importance of actually understanding those core fundamental JavaScript understanding, which is very important. Yep. So with that, guys, once again, do share this interview experience with as much as possible, and especially I want everyone who is watching to share their outcome in terms of if you have to implement any of these questions, how you are going to approach, irrespective of how much experience you have. So please do share as much as possible. This will help people to understand the importance and actual interview experiences. One thing I might have given too much of clues. Sometimes interviewer may not give. Interviewer may want you to maybe waste time so that at the end he can say sorry, we can't proceed. Those kind of a common things that we get from many interviewers. So be ready. So be ready to ask questions. Be ready to debug as much as possible. Try to add debugger or a console in order to leverage maximum out of those interviews. If you are stuck in worst case, if you're stuck with some technical thing, please do ask interviewer, hey, can I take a reference from my internet in order to just check this part? I somehow missed how to do that, right? Those are also okay things. Instead of like wasting time and at the end of 1 year, hey, there is no outcome. There is no point on that. With that, we'll see you with more videos, more interesting videos. If anyone is interested in giving the interview, please put down in the comment, and that is going to help everyone. So thanks a lot, Venkat, once again. Sharing, coding, I know this is very tough, man. All of a sudden asking that it's very tough to be on the other side of the table, right? It is always easy to ask questions. It is always tough to say that, hey, I understand this concept and I can go in hard code and you bombard with any sort of question, right? It's tough. I understand and I really appreciate the kind of a way that you have taken this interview. I really appreciate. Thanks a lot once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Chirag. It's been nice meeting with you, and it's been a very good experience that I had a good experience with this JavaScript. Me to the vanilla JavaScript basics fundamentals. So very thanks for considering my profile and helping me to understand few things. Like few things for sure. I
Hope you are going to leverage some of those learning in your real life and there will be a drastic change somehow. That's what my expectation is.
sure I will do it. I will do it.
Awesome. With that, see you again. Bye bye. Thanks everyone for watching this.